Alright, hello YouTube, and welcome, not just to From the Depths, but to our, well, it's going to be 100 subscriber special, but it's actually, I think, 104 subscribers at the time of recording. Our 104 subscribers special. And you might have noticed, we're with a rather substantial new craft that you guys haven't seen yet. Yes, so I've been doing a little bit of work on the ship that will hopefully take us through some of the harder bits we've been dealing with at the moment. This is, at the moment, the prototype heavy battleship. It does not have a proper name yet. I'm willing to hear submissions in the chat if anyone wants to try. Chat. The comments if anyone wants to suggest anything. And I was going to go over quickly what I've done. I'll also say that the special, what we'll be doing, is building the ship. Basically, building the ship and doing a bit of testing. And we're going to try and... I don't know if we'll finish it in one go, but it's going to be an extra long episode just working away on this thing and getting some of the components in. But yes, to show off what we've got so far. So, front end is the pointy bit, obviously. We have 5 major turret wells. I believe these are... They're using the... Where is it? Using one of these as a template. What are they, 11? 11 meter turret? No. 30 meter turrets. I don't have any guns built for them yet. It's going to be armed with railguns. I'm thinking maybe twin mount and maybe also a tracer on the same turret. A little tracer minigun. We have these sections here. These are going to be large, probably missile launchers, I think. They'll like chuck the missiles up and then they'll fly off and do stuff. The hull is at least 2 blocks thick all the way around at the moment. Just going to paint that because I realize it hasn't been painted. It looks kind of ugly at the moment, but it'll look a bit better when it's actually finished. It also, I should mention straight away, it does have a little bit of a frame rate issue, which I'm hoping will not be more of an issue later. It's not as big as a Megalodon. Actually, I better check. Its volume, what is it, 44,000? How big is a Megalodon? Because that's kind of what we're building it to fight. It's also godly, so it doesn't get destroyed. But I believe when I checked it, it should be smaller than the Megalodon, yet it's lagging worse, so I don't know quite what I've done. Well, not smaller, but less blocks and things at the moment. Volume, yeah, 96,000. Blocks, 29,000. So it is smaller than that thing, it's just that thing lags less for some reason. I don't know what I've done, whether it's having more volume in the water. I was going to say it seems to be fine at the moment, but that's just because the game's paused. It's fine when it comes out of the water. If it's still lagging really badly later even. Oh, they're slowing my words today, so I have to piss. If it's still bad later, we may have to convert it to fly. But yes, to continue the internals tour, so we've got the main turrets. That one's marked red. I figured I'd go over some of my building process. This one's marked red, so I know where I can build the cannon out to. So, like, that's the inside that'll still rotate as long as I build within those guidelines. Large battery store that I might even extend, actually, while I'm thinking about it. Yeah, this does exactly what it sounds like. It stores power from its reactor, which we'll get to in a minute. We do want to expand the batteries because that increases the power we can output. Next, the generators. We have 2 pretty substantial steam boilers running 4 turbines, each of which will refill, supposedly, up to 25,000 roughly battery energy a second. So it's got a beefy core to it, and it stores about 500,000 resources on board at the moment, both in those containers. And also in these containers here. In this box, surrounded by a layer of heavy armor and ERA from the sides, is the ammunition magazine. Bunch of ammunition boxes, nothing too special. Should give it enough access, but if it turns out it needs more, we can add secondary magazines. We have 8 side turret wells. These are going to be filled with Cirrus turrets, is the current idea, to defend the ship. We will have other weapon systems on board, but that's going to be one of the main ones. And also, in the back, we have the AI. We have loads of spare processing power, because I think we're going to need a lot. We're going to have lots of detection systems. We're going to have, what do you call it? Ship. I don't know what the word for it is, but there's a type of missile that is guided. I suppose we could have some more in here as well. By the ship it's attached to. We're going to use those, because they're not prone to being distracted. So yes, that is the current ship's layout. It's also, as you can see, been divided up for making it. I can't even call it. What do you call it? Like buoyancy. That's the word. It's been divided up into different segments for buoyancy. I've just realised I've not put water pumps in the turret wells for the Seawiz, which I should probably do. One of my suspicions for why it's lagging a bit is potentially that's because I don't have the ship sealed at all, so it's constantly recalculating the buoyancy. Maybe. I have also marked at least half of that one out, so I can see roughly where I can build the Seawiz turret to. So my hope is, once I've started capping bits off, it should speed up a bit. But I wanted to leave it open for the moment, so you guys could see what's inside it. The deck is planning currently to be a layer of metal thick, and then a layer of half and half decking, half wooden decking, because I believe that helps to absorb, as well as damage, it also helps to absorb, oh come on, brain, words, EMP. Now the turret well, I have to decide whether I want to cap it off here, or higher up. Actually, yeah, we'll have a layer of heavy armor under the deck, I think that's probably a good idea. The main turret wells will make them even more solid. I think the deck line is actually going to be slightly below the top of some of them. This is partly a miscalculation, but I don't mind having the sides raised a little bit over the main deck. That's fine. Maybe even have some water drainage holes for the aesthetic. Right. So, I need to decide what we're doing next. And I think, probably, the first thing I ought to build... Yeah, still lagging. But the first thing I ought to build is probably one of the guns. So, our main weapon is planned to be these railguns, which are not a weapon type I am very good with in From the Depths. I think we will want the large turret mount, because it's going to be a big gun. Right. So again, I was thinking twin barrel with a smaller, smaller tracer machine gun in the main turret as well. So I guess they'll need at least 2 blocks of space between each other because they're the magnets. So I have to be at least that tall, because then I want to have the firing piece and the mantlets. I'm thinking so I could stack the turrets more easily because it's going to get really tall. Otherwise, I'm going to have them have these ones, so they won't be able to engage aircraft so well. Not that's really designed to fight those, but they'll still have a reasonable amount of up and down. Is it traverse elevation? But still be low profile, so the other guns could sit right across the top of the other turret. Actually, mind you, no, actually no, because we're going to need to armor it anyway. I think we're just going to have to deal with having some tall casemates behind it. Right. Yeah, we'll just raise the guns mountings and have the slick tower casemates that you've got on some real ships. Right. So, can we actually do... We can do all 4. So we'll do all 4 magnets. Now, I don't know... okay. Each one increases the fraction of vehicle energy available to the railgun that's consumed for each shot. Okay. I also don't know what the barrel's going to need to be, so for the moment, I'll go with heavy barrel end. 2 meter barrel. Before evacuator, and we'll probably want a fairly large muzzle brake because they're going to be 500mm guns. I'm going to go full size on these. But we should probably go gauge increases. Okay, that's 500, and then at the bottom. Yeah, it was already right, actually. Perfect. Oh, you know what I have done wrong here, though? Hang on. So it's whip, dual rail gun. Built this in the wrong turret well, not because it's not meant to be there, or because there's not meant to be a gun there, but because it isn't the one that I've actually marked out, and I can see how big I can build this gun. There we go. Be building it there, so I can actually see how big it can be. And I want to try and really make use of the space, but I have to admit, I don't 100% know what the best way to do that's going to be. Now, the way I've seen the devs build the railguns is that they have... oh, sorry. They have the magazines at the bottom, furthest in the ship, and then they put a bit of a collar around it, and they put the charges on those. So that's what we'll probably do. Well, the other thing with this ship as well for defenses is it's going to I'm going to. Oh, actually, I could put some underneath this as well. But the other thing with this ship is I'm going to be using regular shields. I hate placing them, but nothing else is going to be strong enough, so we'll be using plain shields when we get to that point. Or at least I don't think anything's really better than those in terms of overall defense. These are the three-way ones, right? I'm not accidentally... Yeah, okay. I get a completely flat panel of coolers on the bottom. Get a lot of coolers packed in. And underneath them we'll have chargers. Underneath this layer. And then things above that. Right, cool unit. Don't know how much the guns are going to cost, but I have a feeling they're going to be quite a significant chunk of the ship's cost. What I've seen with her from the depths so far. Is that the right way around? No. Is that the right way around? Yes, okay. Yeah, now I don't know if we could see the railgun stats fully for like the shells before we actually load one. It's going to be a little bit awkward. It might also be because we have no magnets yet. So I don't think I've put any of those on yet. We do have obviously quite a lot of energy available. We've got 18 million. Which is just a little bit, you know. It's a small amount. Right. Save vehicle. I like to save quite frequently. Yeah, and then we could put big recoil absorbers down the middle, potentially, between the two barrels. Although I have just realised I've made these 5 wide. I might narrow the neck in a little bit. Let's go. Even if we do have to do redo the gauge increases. Hang on, where's the... Oh, where are they going to come out from the hull? The deck's the one below the top. It's going to be here, isn't it? I'll have to narrow in for a moment. Yeah, it goes straight up, so we'll need some more gauge increases somewhere else. Put one there. These are coolers rather than increases. Okay, so that should mean we only need the normal 3x3 hull to make it a bit easier to load into. Okay, that's all 8. God, those guns look stupid at the moment, but we'll work on that. I'd like the ship to look fairly nice as well, but function is the main thing on this one. For 8 on each side and see how that does. So I think that's 8 anyway. Oh. Okay, I can't do one there, so we won't do one underneath either. We'll go for dual symmetry. Right, how are we looking? We don't know, because again, we can't tell until we've loaded it. Okay. That's a bit of a shit. Oh, hang on, can we do these here? Oh no, we said about recoil absorbers here. Oh, yeah, we could do those now, because we now know how tall the gun's going to be. I have a feeling it's going to be quite high, so I wanted to have fairly good recoil absorption capabilities. And it also should provide a little bit of a barrier between the two guns. I might even be tempted to put shielding up to increase the chance there's something does... Yeah, I don't know how good an idea this is, but I'm going to put a... Maybe not heavy armor, I don't think it needs to be that strong. I'm going to put a wall of metal between the two guns on the grounds of if something pens from the side... It should decrease the chance that the shot knocks out both guns. We'll give it a try anyway. There's no way I'd be able to evenly split. Well, without wasting one bit of space anyway. But yeah, okay, so we'll go with that. Now we need advanced cannons, autoloaders. How big an autoloader can we fit in there if the... This is going to be one higher, isn't it? Or the... is that right? Yeah, no, these... Yeah, okay. So that is the top. So if I go to... Yeah, so I could go for that side. So 5 meter autoloaders, I think that looks like we could fit. Is it better to just have more autoloaders? If we do... I'll put one there, but we could put a rack coming out of it. Something like that, I guess? Or is it better to just have less but with more clips? I don't know what improved... Hang on. Oh, isn't there a tutorial? Let's actually have a look at the APS guide. I haven't read this in yonks. Oh.
Simply known as the advanced cannons, is a fairly complex system that allows a large variety of cannon systems.
I didn't know this game had voice acting.
Small rapid-fire cannons to large cannons firing heavy shells that are capable of dealing massive damage. It uses an ammo control. The firing piece is the main piece. The mantlet attaches. Yeah. There are 5 mantlets to choose from for your cannon.
Those are all no.
The bore evacuator is not a necessary part of the barrel, but it reduces the cooldown. The muzzle brake attaches to the end of the barrel line and reduces the recoil of the cannon. While with the externals of the cannon covered, let's look at the gauge splitter attaches to either. The firing gauge coolers allow the cannon to cool down faster, which will increase. Connectors serve the simple purpose of expanding the cannon system away from the gauge line. They connect to gauge increasers, coolers, and other connectors to allow the placement of auto-loaders, railgun chargers, and the miscellaneous parts such as the predictor and laser targeter. Most cannon systems. With the basics of the gauge line covered, we will now look at one of the most important parts of the advanced cannon, the auto-loaders. You can place auto-loaders along the gauge line onto connectors or adjacent to other auto-loaders. There is no penalty to placing them next to each other and no benefit of placing them on connectors or ammo clips are vital for storing your ammo shells as you await to fire them. They connect up to 4 sides of an autoloader except for the 1-meter belt-fed autoloaders and can stack up onto the ammo ejector is an advanced block that connects to the autoloader and will eject all shells in the autoloader and attach clips through the top of it. These shells are still live when ejected and improper use may cause more harm rather than... Now that we've got the specifics of autoloaders and their pieces covered, let's remember, you only need at least 1 ammo intake per autoloader clip setup, but you can get benefits out of using more than one. The more ammo intakes you have, we now have everything in place to make use of the ammo controller and ammo customizers. The ammo controller can be placed with the customizers placed. We are currently firing a stick of gunpowder.
Have to be quiet and try to quickly read through this and work out.
You can press Q on the controller to bring up the interface.
Why the bits we need to know.
This will show you statistics of the shell alongside the purpose. Now that we have the cannon loaded, let's go over the rest of the additives for the advanced cannon. The one that you will use the most will be the recoil absorbers. The laser targeter allows the cannon to automatically set the timer settings.
Won't need one of those.
The predictor is a basic piece designed for manually operated guns by the player. At last, we have finished covering the main parts of an advanced cannon. And railguns are used to propel high-speed shells at targets that gunpowder-infused shells could only dream of. The railgun fixture attaches to the firing piece of the cannon, and so railgun charges are essential for recharging the railgun and are placed on the firing piece.
Oh, that's a way to do it. The connectors, okay.
Among each other. The more charges you have, the faster the railgun will charge up.
Oh, that is the whole thing. Okay, that does not quite explain what I was looking for, so we'll have to guess, I suppose. Right. I guess we'll go with this for the moment. Loads of... I think having more is better. The ready is better in this case, so we'll go with it. Is it? Oh, and it's crashed. Oh, we're off to a wonderful start, aren't we, today? Yeah, close the game. I'm going to keep recording because I dread to think what editing together an episode of this size is going to be like. So, even if we have to film reload again and getting back online again, well then, that's just what we'll have to do. But yeah, if I have to edit together like a multi-hour episode, that's actually probably going to have problems because I've had issues with this before. I don't know whether we're having issues because the ship is so big or what, or whether the game just is a little unstable, but yeah, we do seem to have had a few crashing things recently. I don't know whether it's something I've done. I didn't think I'd done that much. We've got a few mods, but there's nothing huge, and mostly it's just like the engine packs, which aren't really even mods. They're just combinations of pre-built blocks, or in-game blocks already, I guess you'd say. I'm not wording it very well, but you guys get what I mean. I like the pressing keys may make your game think that it's not responding, or your computer think the game's not responding. It's like, please don't. It's like, alright, at least you're being friendly about it. Alright, designer mode. It's like, oh, did you see the special episode where it crashed? What is it, 18 minutes in? Or 20 minutes in-ish? Yeah, destroy the starter thing. Don't worry about loading that. No. Heavy battleship prototype. Right. So, oh right, yes, we were putting in things, but it's despawned them because we haven't saved because it crashed. We'll have a row of ones with visible magazines, but we'll also have, well, not a row, but we'll have a few that are visible, so we can see how we're doing for loading. But most of these will be in the non-rendering magazine type because they do supposedly perform a bit less well. One there, and because you won't actually have space, we'll do one there. There we go, and then that should allow us to keep track of the shells that are loaded, and then the rest will be the solid 5-meter clips. Yeah, that way around. Oh, wait, also this one. It's taken out, and we'll do another one of these as well. Other side, and then we'll do. Some of them will have extra clips. Loading's going to be a little uneven, but that should be fine. In theory, we're probably not going to be firing quite fast enough for it to get through all of them. The firing rate of this thing shouldn't be terrible, but I don't think it's going to be huge either. As for the ammo ejector thing, which I think we mentioned, shouldn't be an issue with these in theory, at least if I go full railgun. Right? I think that's right. And even if I don't, I'm not going to worry too much. I think if anything's punched through the armor at that point, the shell ejector is not going to save us from any damage. Right. Okay, so the other thing we'll do is find the gun. We'll assume that our gun's casing is going to be about that large. Actually, maybe not. Maybe not have all of that made of that. Oh, I conveniently got a hat. I don't even know what that is. That alloy? Metal. Got this metal bar on the hotkeys anyway. But we'll do a connector. Actually, connector wireless receiver. There. Better a little longer, and then we'll go printed rangefinder 9 meters armored. Even though it's going to be inside the turret, we'll use the armored one anyway. I want to have decent accuracy on this gun. Oh yeah, and then we want our... Do we still want our little tracer machine gun? Because that might be best even built in the back here. Let's chop that off. Does it fall off? No. Okay. Yeah, we could maybe even try to put that little mini tracer machine gun in here, maybe. Let's give it a try. So if we do firing piece here... It's not going to be a very big gun compared to the others, but... Can afford to drop down one, so if we go, it's going to be all 6 barrels. Gauge is at 18 mil. We'll make it a little larger than that. 26 mil, yeah, that's fine. APS. Where's the visuals thing? Barrel spacing. There we go, just turn it into a bit of a minigun looking fella. Let's do a couple of those. Just do a... yeah, he'll probably be firing in short bursts, but that's fine. We then do... Yeah, it's just be a little burst firing, let's say a tracer minigun. Probably get through its shots reasonably quickly, but... Oh. Wrong way up. I suppose there's any other way to load another one? Oh. Ah, it would load at a slightly different speed, wouldn't it? No, because I'd have 3 each, right? If I do this... I put one there, and then I put another one on the end. Yeah, then I've all got 3 each. That should load at the same rate. Yeah, okay. A little bit of Tetris in the gun there. Okay, so that should be minigun, tracer rounds, 2 main railguns on the side. So let's just send those magnets out actually, so they cover the whole gun on both sides. Sure, I can't invert the spinning on the other side. Right. Save. Now we need to work out these shells. Name them. We could put them in here. We'll put them on top of this. What's this? The batteries? Yeah, the batteries shouldn't be at too much risk of being destroyed and making the ship forget what shells it's carrying. Right. I believe for the main guns we can do that at 500mm. These are going to be armor piercing. Again, I've heard that fight the Megalodon you kind of want shots that can't be intercepted. That's kind of what we're going to try and build. So, just the Sabo head, you're looking at a grand total of about 4,000 damage. Which is not very much. Oh no, 300,000 damage and about 67 AP. If we do a Sabo warhead, goes up a little bit, yeah. The kinetic damage goes up quite a lot. So I'm thinking if we do maybe like 2 warhead bodies. 79, does it keep going up if we keep doing more? No, okay, 2 seems to be optimal there. Base bleeder would give extra speed, but it slows it down. What about the fins? Do they still slow it down? That increases accuracy at expensive speed. We lose a lot. We do use quite a lot. Okay. Base bleeder, that should increase the speed. There's a little bit mixed on that one. Could do super. Oh, we could do super cavitation. That would stop it. Yeah, we might do super cavitation actually. Even though we lose a bit of damage, that should stop it losing a lot of damage when it goes into water. So it should mean that if we try to shoot something below the waterline, it just punches straight through. It shouldn't bounce and miss. Right. The other thing we need to do is potentially railgun casings. So, but I don't know how much of a difference it makes because I don't know yet quite how they're going to work. So I think what we have to do is actually start loading some shells in. It's done very quickly. Right. So at the... Oh, how do I know how much power it can use? It fires 16 rounds a minute. 3.72 seconds a shot. So it'll have... If it's able to charge 8,800 a second times 3, that would be roughly what? 1,800... About 2,600? Or 26,000? So if we go 26,000 charge... That boosts the speed up to a lot. Oh, 100 armor pierce, you say? Yes, very nice. We go to a rail gun casing. Does that increase the speed even more? No, really? Actually making it worse. I thought the whole point was that... Oh, increases the maximum rail energy that could be used to fire the shell. Oh, how does that work? Hang on. We should be able to clear all the clips right somewhere. Yeah, there. I'll just have to wait for it to reload again. Save the vehicle. I would have assumed there would be a reason to use the railgun casing. I think I was confused by this before, because they seem to be outright worse, but... Does that mean that it potentially can't even load 26,000 off the bat? Are we going to have to maybe do some tweaking? We'll have a look. We'll wait for the shell to load, and then we'll have a little look and see what it does. Oh, yeah, infinite. Infinite resource access at the moment. Oh, what the heck has happened there? Okay, so F4 key shows an FPS meter, apparently. I see. I was not aware of this. I'm learning so much already. Right, we're loaded. Rate of fire has got up to 18. I'm sorry? What? Are they faster to load? Oh, rail use 1,000. Do I have to... Was it 26,000 they should be able to charge, right? If it's still firing at 16 RPM, but it might not be. 1,700. Is that what it thinks it's going to be, roughly? Yeah, okay. That looks right. Cool. I guess we'll go with that and try it at least. Is it 26,000? Is it 18 rounds a minute? Idle angle. Degrees. Pick yourself up the floor there, man. Yeah, you look like you're being lazy. Right. Right, yeah, we can also increase the accuracy. What are we on? Inaccuracy, a quarter of a degree. We would use 20%. 20% drops it to 0.2 of a degree. Drops the speed quite a bit. It's still hitting quite hard, right? If we'll try that. Try 20% for the accuracy. 2,600. Or 26,000. Which I think will still allow us our 18 rounds a minute fire rate without any problems. 3 degrees. Guys with the other gun on the turret. You aren't firing anything one, are you? Oh yeah, are you definitely firing piece one? Yeah, okay. Oh, and then you need to load the same shells. We also need a dedicated little control center, which I'm going to put in the heart of the ship this time. Not on the exterior like we keep getting at the moment. Is it a bit weird to have command in the boiler room? Yes. But we're doing it anyway. Also going to actually set the weapons to be grouped right away. Save the vehicle. It starts to lag usually when it hits the water. No, we're okay at the moment, apparently. Yeah, it seems to charge up about right, time-wise. I could always, I suppose, run this through a calculator and actually work out the exact charge we could push it to. We could optimize it. Hang on a minute. So let's see. Our fire rate is one shot every 3.26 seconds, or 3.23 seconds. So 8,800 times 3.26 equals 28,688 power. This should, in theory, be the max we can pull. While getting our full fire rate out of the design of the gun. What is actually limiting our fire rate is the next question. Cooling limit. Interesting. We could push it up to 22. We had more gauge coolers, apparently. And we are being limited by that, not the autoloaders. I think it's a bit hard to see. Yeah, it's just getting to max and then it's firing. So that is right. So that is that part of the turret done. Let's also, while I'm thinking about it, weapon group 1. You will also be weapon group 1. You're part of that turret. You're weapon group 1. Turret wing, weapon group 1. Next thing to do is to quickly design the tracer round for the turret. Which is, what, a 36mm? I assume these are going to want to be going pretty quick to hit the target, so we'll literally just go like sabot head tracer. Fit in a 1 meter easily. Barrel length needs to be like 2 meters. Velocity 1000. Okay, so that should theoretically be fine. It really doesn't need very much. Yeah. Well, actually points to it. Oh, that's good. I need to actually set it to. So its fire rate is basically 290. Spin. Because of course it's a spin. Right. Well, that seems to be a fairly well-performing turret. I guess what we need to do now is rig up a little quick detection system to actually test this properly. I don't know what our finished detection system will be, but as long as we make something that should be roughly equivalent. Oh, we're going to lag. Right. Is it? No, we don't need a tutorial on mainframes. Is it changing the major dimensions of the vehicle that makes it lag? Working on the sub-object didn't seem to be a problem. That's interesting. Right, anyway. If we do 2 radars, 2 gimbal radar trackers, and a visual... I think it telescopes the same stats as the visual tracker. Oh. And we also need a... godly mode. Now let's spawn a marauder and see how it does. In theory, pause the game. If these shells are working as they should punch right through that marauder. Okay, that's the minigun. Why is the minigun still firing a burst of 3? What are you doing? You're supposed to be firing... We have what should be a hit there. Shell has connected. Yeah, shell is still going strong. It looked to me like shell quite happily punched through the entire length of the ship, which is a good sign. Oh yeah, some blocks dropping out the bottom. However, it's not tremendously accurate. I do. Oh, what I haven't checked is the accuracy on the railgun itself. I didn't check what the barrel would need to be. Why is the tracer firing in bursts? It should be firing... Oh wait, we know what the accuracy should be on these, right? It should be 0.2 of a degree. What's the barrel length want to be? 6 meters. Yeah, this should be fine. And this is definitely the definition of overpen. We're just punching holes straight through them, but... I don't know that there's any reason, any way to keep the same sort of power if we're not doing that. But at any rate, let us design an armoured cap for this turret. To sort of quote-unquote finish it properly. And then we can copy it and try seeing how a full salvo goes. At the moment, can't seem to kill a marauder, but I'm pretty certain a big chunk of that is A, the detection system, and B, the fact that we're firing at something that is absolutely getting overpenned completely. Does this turret head need to be heavy armor? I don't know, but I think it's going to be. Right, yes, the way I build it's going to have to be a little bit weird as well. Yeah, because the barrel magnet's there technically. At least put something in there? No. I might visually cheat with these, but I'm not sure the front of these turrets are going to be the strongest. They are going to have to rely on shielding, I think, at least partially. Oh, that's why the symmetry's being weird. It's because it's... I've double-clicked it and it's... and the block's in the wrong place. Okay. That means the tracer's run out of ammo. Oh. It also can't be that wide because... the rangefinder can't. Well, rangefinder basically. Okay. I have to do a bit of redesigning at that section as well then. Some visuals, we can fill the hole anyway. Same here. The back will actually fill it. If I lift this thing out of the water, does that improve the frame rate? It does. Doesn't mean I can't hit it. Oh, part of the trouble I think it's having firing is because it's sat too low. Like it's actually a little bit too low because of the raised deck and it can't get shots off. And admittedly, I know this one's at the rear of the deck and it's going to be moved, but... Considering option 2, yeah, I think we need to raise it. Where is it? Prefab mode? Prefab mode. So there's a little thing we can do here. Let's destroy the enemy vehicle. Let's raise it so it's not lagging as much. Let's also save, because we do not want to get this wrong. And lose the turret head. Right. And then we go on these and we delete. Then we put it back. Fresh cooling unit. We do one tab of decorations and then we go back to prefab mode. And we glue it right back on. Right. It might technically be able to fire very slightly faster, but we won't tweak it. Okay, and that should be a bit better. Then we can... Oh, that's the other thing we should do while we're here, so we don't have to do it on each of them. Shields. It will need shields. Because I can't protect it in some other ways, it will need shields fitting. I suppose the turret run is going to be too high, so I could potentially hide it here in the center. So... 6, it'll be height, just tall enough to protect the gun reasonably safely. And for the width, 8.5. Length, max. We didn't come this far to half-ass things. Well, we're not building a ship this big to half-ass it. Anything for the sides. We are going to protect this turret from a full 360 degrees. That's actually... I think the front of the rangefinder is fine, sticking out a little bit, but... Oh, we've got symmetry on. Height or width that much. Like that. Put it a bit further back. Shouldn't really be likely to take many hits from the back anyway, but then the other one we can do is a vertically mounted shield protecting the top of the turret, which it might actually need. Stacking shields at the same angle does not improve. Alright, okay. Right. And we'll also do shield color settings. 0.1. Yeah, I don't want to particularly visible when they're not operating. Right. Now we do no sub-objects mode. We say selected object. That is not at all what it's supposed to be. Prefab mode. No, prefab mode. Sub-objects mode. Say the subject should. I'll just do this. Dual heavy battleship railgun. I've also realised it's going to need the original moving up a bit. Are these actually the right size that they don't quite color? Oh, actually. Oh, wait a minute. Is there actually space for them to just sit behind each other? What the heck is going on with them? Huh? Just me, or does that magnet look a little weird? Yeah, hang on. What? What's going on with the magnets? That doesn't look quite right. I see. Well, yes. Anyway, I guess we'll save the vehicle. If I delete it and reload it, does that fix the magnet? An interesting bug if it doesn't. Yeah, they're fixed. Okay. They sure sound scary. Kaboom, kaboom. Oh no, the magnets are just generally a bit jank. There's just... Now the ones on the other side are wrong. What? What is going on? Okay, okay. At any rate, yes, I believe if we move these up to the all-in-one connector is there. If we go a 2 high surge protector, I did say 2, and then the all-in-one, and then we load the prefab. The sub-object even, we'll get there in the end. Melty brain mode. While this special is intended to be an extra long one for trying to get a fair bit of this built, it might be that I have to split into multiple parts anyway, because it might just be really long. This might take a while to build, but I think we are at the point where we need a bit of a kick in that firepower. So we'll see what we can get done. I probably don't want to run more than a few hours. Start to have A, my voice will start to die, and B, what do you call it? The file will start to get so big that uploading it to YouTube starts to become an issue. So I want to get it uploaded today. Don't want to break that good old streak. Right. Let's click the right buttons in situations like this. So. Looks like the generator is just about able to keep up. It's a good sign, at least with the guns firing anyway. So let us, we'll put it on Godly, and let's spawn a Megalodon, and let's see if we can puncture its shields of any reliability at all. Because the other thing I considered adding was potentially secondaries with disruptor warheads, which are not quite EMP. They're EMP that's specifically shot into shields to shut them down. Now, it looked like we had a bunch of deflects. Did any of them go through? Yes, one of them did. Did it do anything much? Hard to say. Wait for the second volley and then try and pause it. Oh, that looked like one deflected, the other did not. It's here. Oh, it's there. Okay. Oh, look at that. through there, punch through the compartment back here. Disappeared. They work. Look, they're punching through. They're putting holes in it. Trick is, I suppose, are they doing any damage when they do it? Tell you what though, they're already doing more damage than the rest of our fleet was doing against this thing. Definitely hole punching it a bit. What is it firing back at? That's the other thing I'd like to know. What is it firing back at us? And it does fire. What rounds are you firing, Megalodon? It's almost exactly the same thing! Look, it's a Sabo round. Is that a squash head? Is it firing thump shells? I think it's firing thump shells. So it's doing the same thing with kinetic damage, but its shells are designed to impact the surface and just, whoa, like smash part of the hull. I don't know what hit there, but that did some damage. Whereas ours are punch-through shells that are, yeah, designed to punch into internals and do damage. I don't know which is more effective, but we're definitely getting more going through now. The good news is they are penetrating. They're not always going through the shield. Some are deflecting, but some of them are cutting through and doing damage. So we could potentially consider maybe having the inner 4 CIWS mounts rather than big CIWS being those disruptor turrets, potentially, or the outer 4. I don't really mind which. That's something we could consider. We're also going to have the missile backup. Yeah, they are doing damage. There are definitely points where they punch in and they take a chunk out. Like, not quick enough on their own at the moment. They do need more backup from the other weapons, but every time they hit with those wide shots, they're taking big chunks out of the hull. Look at this, it's been Swiss cheesed. Is its generator not damaged though? That's the bit that gets me. We seem to be punching into its boiler and then not damaging it. We've hit it loads of times. Is it the armor's just about thick enough to stop it doing any damage on the inside? Are we just unlucky at the moment? But I'll tell you one thing that isn't working. Its defenses aren't stopping the shells at all. They are punching straight past its defenses, whether it just doesn't have time or they're not powerful enough, but right, so our ship costs now almost $1 million. So the guns are expensive, but they're not awful. I thought they could be more than that. We have to be under 1.8 to make this thing as cost effective as that thing. So that's well, that's losing bits, but yeah, its lambs are definitely trying to hit the shells, but I think they're just not doing damage quick enough. What's inside these turrets? How explosive would the turrets be? Oh right, they're railguns. They might not be. So we might not be able to rely on anything much in terms of internal explosions. Yeah, look at those hits though. They get a good sideways hit, it punches out a lot of blocks. That's even most of the armor though, strangely enough. They're just stripping armor off this thing. Punching so many blocks out, and yet seemingly no internal damage is happening. Oh no. Yeah, no, there's a turbine out now. So the LAM system's starting to get holes in it as well. Yeah, okay, they are doing damage. It's taking them a little while to find their groove, but it'll be a bit easier when it's actually maneuvering into position on its own. regardless, it has done a lot more damage than our entire fleet of finished ships did. Whether it could do that and stay operational, when that thing's actually firing back at it and doing damage, I don't know. But I think I'm happy to say that those guns are working. Could potentially have a better, like, round to fire. And if anyone has a suggestion for a better round to fire, do let me know. I really do want to know on this one. I don't think this is going to be finished in one part, so... We're already at almost an hour. Right. Let's finish the gun casing then. Oh. Yeah, because the deck's going to be there, so... I guess if we just go in 4 and then the top of the... I don't know where the... I guess it'd go in one further, right? We'll assume that. We'll do that in a sec. Let's finish the outer bit first. Oh, it's out the water so it stops lagging. These are all going to have to be a little bit different, I think. We go like that, and that's the rotate. That's the rotate, okay. And the deck on top will have the 2x3. What we could even do is make that particular bit out of heavy armor specifically, because it's got to be tougher. And we can copy this sort of collar piece onto all the others. Let's make it taller. Or lift it higher off the deck, I should say. A nice tough... Oh, actually, we could go for a star mount. That could look quite good. Like a quad. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Yeah. Yeah, that looks quite nice. Now, if I copy that cap, then we just need to... prefab mode. And then we want it to be... 3 tall by... 15 wide, and then by... What, be 15... Or 15 long by 15 wide. There we go. And then if we just go up 2 blocks around the rim, this bit will be exposed above the deck, but we can maybe build a bit of an aesthetic casing of some sort around it, or maybe even a bit of superstructure. Yeah, but superstructure might be good. And then we go prefab. We just slap the cap over the top. Don't have to design it each time. Back. It's nearly the same. Yeah, in fact, it's pretty much the same thing. Go up 2. Oh, the other thing we could do as well is, I believe, like, I still don't know if this is 100% true or not. Oh. Have I done that wrong? Is there going to be deck sitting on top of that? Maybe there is, but that's... yes, that's fine. I'll have to sculpt the deck a little bit around there. Maybe it'll dip in a little bit, but oh well. But yes, that's those capped. But I think light blocks still block water. So we'll try capping them with light blocks as well, just to make sure they stay watertight. It won't interfere with the workings of the gun at all. They are not solid. They're mostly there to build fancy weird things, basically. Things where mechanically you can't quite do them in-game. Right. Save the vehicle. Okay, so if we now... Do we put the decks on now, or do we do... No, we've probably got to do the Sea Whiz. Let's do the Sea Whiz now. We'll get those done this episode, and potentially we might do some more normal episodes finishing this off. Right, so we're considering what? Disruptor cannons and Seaways as two separate designs. So let's do the Seaways. I think they're all Seaways mounts at the moment anyway. Or maybe we'll just do... I don't know, because they were punching through the shields, but the shields were absorbing some hits, and we don't really want that if we can avoid it. No, we'll do 4 Seaways. We'll keep these primarily defensive based for now, at least. Can always change our mind later. So, need to build it in the one that's actually got the markings in it. Need to remember that. Right. Now, I believe we've used 80mm solid shot before. I want to use larger Seaways for this one, but I want it to be flak. Build it taller this time because we've realised, we got the last one a little short. We go specifically bend back on itself, and that's a little shorter. Right. Anti-aircraft mantlet. Probably doesn't want to have heavy barrel actually at all because it has to react quickly. Oh, it looks so bad. That's a little better, right. What gauge are we on? 236. That's quite big for Seaways. I might still have it a little bit smaller than that. 179, yeah, we'll go with that. And these are basically going to be... we need a laser targeter, because it's going to need to be able to set its own fuse times. Aren't going to be enormous. Could potentially go like that. Go 2... Yeah, and then actually what we could do... It's a bit of dead space, but we could fill it up with recoil. Yeah, okay. There might be a bit of dead space here, but I think I know what we can fill it with. So we'll go... Clips. We need symmetry off. Yeah, this one. A bit hard to tell exactly how much space we're working with because we've only got it on half the floor, but... Okay, and then we could potentially go... Oh, hang on. We could do a... Because we can attach it to the side, can't we? We can go like that. And they can have another one on each. Put them crosswise or whatever you... I don't know what you call it, but... Building in a spiral. I want to keep them loading evenly, so I'm just going to have one, even though I could use a little bit more space there. Can I maybe drop a big recoil absorber through that gap? Yes, we then go. Let's use some of those connectors it was talking about. Do we want to try and fit in a second layer as well? We could. It's still going to be protected under the hull. It will be a little close to the surface, but we could always build these mounted up a little bit as well. Yeah, we'll go with a second layer as well. Actually, no, better not, because I just remember these are going to be fragile because these are explosive, so we might even... Do we go with 4 meters? Do we make it even taller and then... We have larger No, we've got to keep the fire rate up. We might actually just have some dead space inside this gun. Just for the sake of avoiding explosions, we could put some recoil absorbers in or something. It's not completely wasted. But I think in this case we want to be a little careful because these guns are going to be a bit explosive and we don't want to be losing too much of our own ship when we are hit. Which will inevitably happen. We have to assume we're going to take some damage. We are going to try and fit fairly good self-repair systems as usual though. Oh, what we could do though, even if we don't want to mount them... Yeah, even if we don't want to mount them vertically and risk losing them, we could have another other one on its side like that, which is something at least. Wait, hang on. Can we actually then load it? Have I made a mistake? Could be only one shell at a time, which is slower than the others. Nope, nope, we just got some dead space. I hate it, but I think we just accept it and move on. What we can do, though, is armor it a little bit more. Because this one is going, as I said, is going to be a little bit more vulnerable to destruction than the others, so... at least fill some of that dead space with solid steel, and make it a little bit harder for it to be damaged. Yeah, the turret cap will do the rest. Right. So now we need to design that a shell. Oh dear. It is what, 179 mil? 179 mil. Put it with the others. With 3 meters. Flak head. I am also considering copying some of the Megalodon's tricks and having some small missile interceptor missiles. That might well be worth a try. So, what are we looking at? 179 mil. Cut length requires 3 meters. But it could be a bit longer, actually. So let's try that. 3 meters. Yeah, that's still fine. How about with that on the end? No, not quite. Okay, that's fine. So, flak head. Really wants to do about at least 400, I would say. So, flak warhead body, flak warhead body. The idea is these will just blow up vaguely near the target and hopefully do enough damage to knock them out. 31 meters, 2,300 damage. 3,600 damage. Armor piercing, no. Don't know that they'll do much against armored missiles, but go for fins and then a timed fuse. Yeah, it should be about right. And we'll give it a try. We'll spawn some things in for it to shoot at. We'll also fit some detection systems directly onto the Seawatch turret itself. A, because that's what we do in real life, and B, because that's a convenient place to have it. So, go for a laser rangefinder. A bit towards the back, and then the other... yeah. The other main thing we'll have on it is munition warners. Can we do that and then... is that blocked? No, it's not blocked. Okay. I have a general pressing card on the outside as well. This can help us find targets. Right. Save vehicle. Let's load the shells. Check they will work. These will be not set. We'll put sealers on group 5. It'll be the least priority weapon because it's not the one we're going to be using manually at all in theory. These things have gone very wrong. So that fire rate at the moment, pretty slow. We may have to improve that. Yes, okay. So it does need more coolers because that is unacceptably slow and it could be going a lot faster. Okay. No 6-way cooling connector, but that's what we can do is do that and then go. Oop. Well, we're caught up, at least. I think we're going to have to hope this can actually semi-accurately blap entire small groups of missiles. So, best way to test this is usually with the good old nest of bees, if it's still primarily a missile ship. Which I'm not even sure it is anymore. I think it's... Oh, they killed it. I forgot about that. Oh, actually, you know what we're probably better doing? Let's do, Jesus, okay. Where is it? Planes. A whole bunch of Shrikes, because they shoot missiles as well. Or at least I think they do. Do they not? Oh, is it the... Oh, I might be thinking of the Duster. Let's see what these things do. If they drop bombs, that'll work for testing as well. As the railguns furiously murderize them. Oh yeah, that's working. So yeah, deletes like entire groups. I don't know if there's any way to dual mode the guns. They'll also shoot at the vessels, but yeah, so that could delete entire areas worth of things. We could potentially also fit a LAM system in this gap. So we had both, maybe, and I might well do that. So we've got these to fire at the bigger stuff, and then the lambs to hit the smaller stuff. We'll see how the power's looking when we fit all the shields. But Seawiz doesn't require power, so... Tell you what, hang on. Delete the enemy vehicles. Magnets are still... What are the magnets doing, man? They've been weird. Right, let's spawn a bunch of Dusters. I think that's the one I'm thinking of. They're like twin missile launchers. Yeah. Yeah, it seems to be reasonably accurate and powerful though. Fire rate's not huge, so it will get overwhelmed, but the point was this is a heavy Seawiz and this is supposed to be relying on fire sort of quality more than quantity. Alright, so assuming the deck is going to be... Where's the deck? Oh jeez. Spinning is happening. We could even potentially have two of these guns just set up as pure anti-aircraft. Maybe the inner two on each section are the Seawiz and the outer two are AA. I think they're probably better. Just 8 Seawiz, it's a lot, but should mean they could focus fire a bit on bigger missiles. On the plus side, when they hit them, the railguns seem to be doing reasonably well against the deep water guard, which you sure hope they were. Yes. Oh, the deck's going to be there. Okay, so the deck's going to be there. Don't build anything there. Above that, let's build a bit of a shell for this gun. These are all going to be in the same layer, so they won't need their own fans building at least. And if we do subvolumes mode, save, heavy battleship Seawiz. Oh, then make sure I'm not building on it. I need to place on the other side because I'm not on mirrored apparently. Right. That as well. Let's get the frame rate back. It's going to be a bit annoying if the frame rate's still bad with it running, but I think it seems to be okay until I start to build on it. So it might be that it's having to like sort of write the ship's file each time, and that if it's not actually having to do that, it's okay. Right, then let's do what we've done with the other ones, which is have a bit of a cap on it, but this one could probably just be metal. And let's also remember that this needs to go up a layer, because otherwise we're building at the wrong height. Way to do it. I was about to start putting it on the others, and I'm like, no, Doug, you have copy paste. You don't need to do that. You don't need to suffer. Right. Right, and then the actual cap piece itself will be it has to be one wide because we're going quite narrow with this one. Is there any way to do the little star pattern we did on the other one? I'd like to have a little bit of decoration on the cap. I suppose we could do like a little... like that, and it wouldn't technically be in the way, I don't think. Don't know why I'm doing these little decorations, but I feel like there's a start of a little something looks-wise here. Just because we've got something similar on the other side as well. So... I feel like a ship this big should have some decoration on it. How are we doing for materials at the moment? 1.1 million. Cost is coming in, but we're still cheaper than the Megalodon. And again, we also don't have a deck, so there is some work to do, or a bridge for that matter. Right. And then prefab mode. Just the current one. Needs to be 9, yeah, 9 by 9. I should probably have checked if the turrets can actually still spin. I started to put them on, but too late now. Right. They can still spin just fine. Okay. If we destroy everything and then reload it, does it run a little better? We don't tweak it and then we load it and run the test. Yeah, it seems to be okay. Let's go for like 14 dusters. Seaways seems to be reasonably good at... Are they firing independently or are they all firing at once? It's a bit hard to tell. No, I think they're firing independently as well. They are actually targets individually when there's enough of them. Tracer rounds are definitely working this time anyway. Well, they're scoring that many hits, but... At any rate, I'd say that was the sea was working reasonably well. Oh, I never put any shields on them. Don't bother. Though to be fair, not sure how vulnerable I think they are anyway. They are basically a heavy armoured tube. And if anything big enough to actually crack that armour hits, then they're probably knocked out anyway, so... maybe won't worry too much on that one. The main turrets are a bit more important, but yes, at the moment what I'm thinking for weapon systems, we've got the forward heavy missiles that'll be kicked upwards here. They'll kick upwards, they'll be a bit like a VLS but facing forwards. Or they could be torpedoes, alternately. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. This could be LAMs, this could be vertical launch missiles, could be anything. Don't think we'll put anything here. We'll have a bridge section in the middle, which could potentially have stuff on it. I'm thinking maybe 2 masts. 2 radar masts, maybe a funnel or 2 for decoration, a forward visual bridge structure. It's gradually pulling these things apart, which is not bad for an absolute placeholder detection system. It's actually in the way of the guns, I've just noticed as well. Okay, it's fine. We can stop watching the guys spiral. Funny as it is. Let's add some of the deck in. That's what I'm thinking now. Let's go. Yeah, because we're planning to have a metal layer as well, aren't we? Yes, let's have the metal layer in, not for that section. Let's just do this section up to, yeah, there on each of the guns, and then we'll leave the middle open. Potentially whatever. I've left the internal walls as alloy for the sake of keeping the bulkheads light. So they'll stay alloy even on the top, I think was the point my brain was trying to get across there. Yeah, it's starting to slow down now. So it looks like it's okay until I start modifying it. So I guess that is what the lag is. It's because it's having to change it. Probably because it's quite a big file, I'd imagine now. It's probably because it has to modify the file and do a lot each time. If I get this in, this will hopefully start to make it a bit more easy to work out exactly where the deck's going to be. Oh yeah, that needs... Yeah, I forgot this is wrong now. This will need redoing as well, because this is meant to be... I definitely got some of the deck bits wrong with this one. Not quite sure how I built everything a bit too low, but we're working with it. We are working with it now. Oh wait, no, that is right. No, that's wrong, but in the way I thought it was wrong. I think. I'm not even sure anymore, dude. Right. Cut these out. Let's finish filling in this slightly messy section of the deck. There, and then... Oh, this is filled in. You're not supposed to be filled in. You're supposed to be staying blank for now, so I can leave you open to put things like missile hatches in you. I don't know exactly what's going to be there yet. Right. Yeah, it's fine. I try not to cover too many of the internal sections either for the sake of building in them, but that should be fine because it's not, sorry, it's only overlapping a tiny bit. The one thing I will try and do is keep the decks lined up, at least for the moment. Does unfortunately mean that's going to have to be slightly messy looking. Right. Same around the other end. I guess that's fine. We'll go with that. No, we'll do what we did on the other side. We'll do the 2 meters, and then we can always change those out later anyway if we have to. If we want to. If I'm a little bit quiet, it's just a little bit of a kind of have to get it done, get this thing built, but it does just take a while. That there. Like I say, I wanted to do a... I kind of felt like it'd be interesting to do a full, like, here's how these ships actually get built kind of thing, as far as our campaign is concerned. Here's how long it actually takes, and here's the sort of thing you have to consider and everything for those who maybe are watching the playthrough but don't own the game, which I can't imagine is many of you, but I suppose maybe some of you do. Oh, I suppose yeah, we can cap this bit off as well. Okay, we'll leave the rest of the ship uncovered for now, because I don't know what we'll put in it, but... Oh, actually, yeah, that's going to be a bit different as well, isn't it? Around the... We'll do that in a moment. Yeah, we're going to also do the bits around the turrets a little different, at least for the front turret, where it's dropped in a bit. And been level like I thought it was going to be. I also goofed that up. Can we do 3? Yeah. Just have like a 1. Might need a little dip. Yeah, and actually that one's coming back around that one. That would be like that. Yeah, that's better. And go back to being level. Oh wait, stay like that, can't it? Because we can leave that. Okay. Middle of these bits. There's a method to my madness. Then we do that. And that. That goes there. Yeah, I guess we could do it with the square corners. It's not quite what I was thinking, but... Is this a structural weak point? Potentially. Is it actually going to allow anything that happens to drop in on that very specific spot to do any damage? Shouldn't do? I can't imagine. There we go. It's a bit of a dip in, but it works. It still looks alright. Let's fill the rest of this, and we'll do a little bit of a raised casing around the rest of the guns as well. Over here. There. And back to 4 meters again. It's... Again, I'll be interested to see in a minute how many blocks we're getting up towards. Oh, that's the wrong button to check that though. V. 18,000 blocks. 1.1 million materials roughly still. It's not too bad at the moment. It's not too expensive. Again, we're still cheaper than our equivalent that we're trying to match. Why is that? 3 even. Oh, we should be on mirror. We shouldn't be doing this. Shouldn't be doing this one at a time. Not make this any harder for myself than it has to be. So absolutely no reason to do that. Many button presses later. Right, and we'll stick with the... No, these would be normal, and then the inner one would be square, right? We don't even have to do the square bit on this one, because we can just go like that and have that nice and neat. Okay. Yeah, my hand is starting to go a little bit, so I think we'll finish this bit, finish the rear turrets, or maybe even leave those for next time. No, we'll finish the rear turrets as well, deck around that. Actually, no, we haven't even started. No, we'll leave that. Yeah, we'll finish this bit and then we'll call it. I did want to do an extra long special, but no use if I actually injure myself and then can't record anything. It's a lot of clicking involved in building these ships, because they are, obviously, as you guys can now see, quite a bit of work to put together. Again, I'm assuming most of you would know that anyway, because most of you probably do play this game, I would imagine. Certainly, some of you helpful folks in the comments, leaving nice things for you to read, certainly have some knowledge of it, regardless of whether you play it or not. Yeah, not super happy that they're not the same on each one, but they're close enough, I think. Right. I think that's where we'll leave that one for today. Hopefully you've all enjoyed the little special. I'll try and do another special, something even bigger, at 1,000 subs. God knows how long that'll be. I think it'll be quite a while before we get to that point, but I'm going to try and do it. And I'd hopefully like to see us reach that point, because you guys seem to be enjoying it. It'd be nice to have more of you wonderful people coming on board to help out. I was going to do a little firework thing, but it didn't. I forgot that they're not going to explode without anything to shoot. So yeah, hopefully you've all enjoyed this little special. I don't know how special it's been, but I'm going to call it a special anyway. And I'll catch you guys all again next time. Goodbye.